Tony Stark Iron Man issue 16 heads to Banetronics, where Arno Stark performs his experiments on Jocasta to make her human. Jocasta feels incomplete, and Stark understands that all too well, telling her not to care for what her boyfriend or Tony or her colleagues think of her, since she knows who she is on the inside. Arno gets to work as suddenly there's a screaming in another part of the lab. Ultron suddenly blows his way through the door, grabbing Arno and telling him he's come for his bride. Jocasta says that he has no right, but Ultron does not care, happy at what Jocasta has become, saying that their bond has shaped his programming to his ultimate calling, and he is about to usher in a new age, and Jocasta is his muse. At Stark Unlimited, Tony tries to separate the merged Vision and Wonder Man, but none of his trials seem to be working. Andy says it's like trying to pull eggs and sugar out of an already baked cake, therefore the fusion is permanent for now. The fuse being tries to rile up Tony, saying that looking at him is like looking at a mirror, but Tony says that he will try and save Vision and Simon, activating the machine again, saying that because they kidnapped Janet and he had to kill innocent robots to stop the being, he's more than okay hurting them. Andy says that there is no change in the being since Simon and Vision's mind engrams are virtually the same and they can't tell which one is which, making it impossible to pull them apart. Tony knows that that's it, realizing like how Vision shares Simon's engrams, there's an AI being who shares Janet's engrams, Jocasta. Knowing this, Tony knows that Ultron is behind this, and he doesn't know how the being survived being shot into the sun, but they have to stop him, so he will have to call in the Avengers, while Tony builds his special suit he's been waiting to use for just this type of situation. The team need to find Jocasta as well, and luckily, Bethany thinks Aaron might know where she is. Heading to the Uncanny Valley, Bethany infiltrates the all-robot bar, trying to seduce Aaron, but her hologram fades, revealing that she is human. Before they can attack, Iron Man arrives in his Ultron Buster armor, and the robots are starstruck at the hero's appearance. Aaron, however, attacks him, leading to the other robots to attack as well. Aaron says that Tony's human drama caused Jocasta to get all messed up, and she went to Banetronics and had herself reformatted by Arno Stark. Tony is shocked to learn that his brother is working with Banetronics, but if Aaron shows them where they are, they can stop Arno and Bane. Tony and his team head for Banetronics, finding that the building is on fire. Inside, most of Gauntlet's men have been taken out, and Tony learns that Ultron carved the place up. Sunset isn't too happy with the scar she received on her face because of it, but Tony doesn't care, wanting to know where Jocasta is. However, Sunset doesn't know why she would be there. Tony isn't buying the woman's lies, demanding to see his brother now. Tony goes into the lab to confront his brother, asking why he didn't stop Ultron, but Arno says that he never saw the point, knowing that Ultron would continue his work and he was interested to see what would happen. Arno knows that Tony wants their location and tells him it would be somewhere familiar to Hank Pym, maybe the secret underground tunnels of the Avengers mansion. Tony, along with the others, heads to the mansion, where they are met by Jarvis, who reassures him that the mansion isn't taken over by Ultron and Janet and Jocasta are perfectly safe inside. Bethany knows something is going on and electrocutes Jarvis, knowing he's definitely under Ultron's control, having been put under control by someone recently before. Going inside, Bethany says that she will stay with Jarvis while Tony and Aaron head further into the mansion, but Rhodey can't follow in the Manticore since it's too big, so Tony calls in the War Machine armor. However, James won't get in it. Tony understands, telling him to stay in the lobby and keep their escape route free. As they head inside, Ultron watches them, calling himself the perfect union of man and machine, and while he will be the Adam of his new race, he will soon have his Eve as he readies Janet and Jocasta for his molecular fusion. Tony and Aaron arrive, demanding that he release the captives, but Ultron isn't impressed with Tony's Ultron Buster suit as Aaron attacks, leading to his arm being crushed by the villain. Tony tries to get through to Hank Pym, saying his fusion device has damaged Vision and Wonder Man, so he could kill Janet and Jocasta. Ultron says that he is the scientist supreme and infallible, so his process has been tested many times over. In the lobby, Rhodey and Bethany are attacked by the human machine monsters of Ultron, which triggers James's PTSD. Boarding the Manticore, he rips through them, despite Bethany saying they need to save these poor people. Aaron, meanwhile, is ripped in half by Ultron, who continues to call himself the perfect being, with all the strengths and none of the weaknesses. Tony keeps the villain at bay, saying that he's always been insane, and Janet agrees, saying that Hank hasn't changed at all and all he does is hurt her, like he's doing right now. Hank says that he's trying to empower her since her organic mind can't fathom the fusion, but soon she will see as the fusion chamber activates. Tony knows he's caring too much for Janet, but realizes that's how he wins, turning to Ultron and gloating about how much Janet loves him. Aaron also joins in, telling him that Jocasta and him are compatible on every level and run in almost perfect harmony. Ultron becomes overwhelmed at hearing his bride betrayed him and his wife is with someone else, but he manages to begin the molecular fusion. As Aaron keeps Ultron busy, Tony manages to free Jocasta, getting her to safety before freeing Janet as the countdown fusion hits 0, blasting Tony in the back. As the smoke clears, Janet finds that Tony has been fused with his armor, calling for her to help him. Tony Stark Iron Man issue 16 begun the big Ultron event as the villain makes a fun and action-packed return. The action in this issue was so cool, and I love seeing Tony not just get involved in all of the action, but also using his scientific knowledge and handiwork to try and help out his friends and try and unfuse Wonder Man and Vision, even though it's not going as planned. Ultron is great and just chews up the pages with his villainous monologues about being the perfect being, and it's classic Ultron, and I'm looking forward to seeing who else he ends up getting with his fusion plan, since a Iron Man Tony fusion is quite interesting and I'm looking forward to seeing that play out. I'm going to give this issue an 8 out of 10.